Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be discussing my review of Series 13 plus the specials with it of Doctor Who. So, apologies for the lack of reactions to episode 1, which is still available on YouTube. I don't know why. The rest of it, excluding War of the Sontarans, the footage is gone. Don't ask. Is available on Dailymotion right now. All of them from Once Upon a Time to The Power of the Doctor. So please watch that. The link here will be down below, so let's get back to the review. So, I loved this. I'm sure everyone's gonna say this, and everyone's going to, agree or disagree. I feel like the first half of the series, excluding the specials, is good. So from episodes 1, 2, and 3, good. 4, 5, and 6 is the lower point. But the best of the second part of it is Village of the Angels. Out of the 6 of them, my favorites is the Halloween Apocalypse. I'm gonna say Once Upon a Time and Village of the Angels. In my opinion, those are my best 3 of the series. I feel like episodes 2, 5, and 6 are the weakest point. Go away, Twitter. I feel like they're the lowest point. Right, let's start with the Halloween Apocalypse. So, we all know that this story is it's based on Halloween because it was on Halloween. So, I really enjoyed it. My biggest downfall with this episode, is the timing. No, like, we got, like, rushed into there's so much. Like, and then from episodes 2 to 6, gives us, like bits of who they are. So, I feel like, they did a more, like, Broadchurch. I never watched it. It's a bit like Broadchurch style at the ending. I loved the Doctor's performance in it because this is like a few months of the aftermath of Resolution of the Daleks, and I'm still a bit through with that. Can I say I loved Dan? I loved Dan in that episode. Felt sorry for him. Now we move on to Swarm Azure. Or Crystal Man or Crystal Girl. Absolutely fabulous. Sontarans. They do my fucking head in. I'm sorry. But, and we got Weeping Angels. I'm glad that no one actually properly died. Well, apart from Jericho. And on after that. So episode 1 was a good start to the series. Now, let's move on to episode 2. So, episode 2 was always going to be a story like, oh, we always wanted a Sontaran story, we haven't had one since the Sontaran stratagem and the poison sky. This to me is like, yeah, they got the Sontarans in it, and it keeps being interrupted by the planet's time where Yaz, Vinda, Swarm Azure, and Passenger, they keep bringing that up. That was the weakest point, I believe. What let me down with this episode is that the timing, it doesn't need to be that long. 60 minutes. Is it 60 minutes? I don't know, but it doesn't need to be that tight. It doesn't need to be that long. Why couldn't they stick to that time? Maybe because they wanted that cliffhanger. So, bit disappointing. Now let's go on to episode 3. So, episode 3, Once Upon a Time, was, and then, as I said, out of those 3, it's one of those ones. I would say this episode, it's, not stressful for the ending, but when we feel like that, when we introduce Belle, when we go and watch my reactions, I got a bit annoyed with her because I feel like I got more annoyed because she's in, like, because, the next episode, which I'm going to be talking about, she kind of ruined it. I'm sorry, but I do like her. It's just she ruined it for me. Sorry, but that story was like confusing. It's good, but I really liked it. It's not too stressful. go more into like more of the Doctor's past a bit, which is good. I liked Ruth. Yes. Filling it. I feel like it was a bit weak. Can remember. And can I say, the Grand Serpent can go fuck himself. I'm sorry. I know he's a brilliant actor, but I now have a phobia of snakes because of that episode, so alright. Yeah, really good story. Let's move on to chapter 4, Village of the Angels. So, Village of the Angels. So, Village of the Angels was the strongest one because the Weeping Angels are the best scarier villains, right? So I feel, I absolutely loved it. The bit that scared me was the television scene. That was scary. Go away, Twitter. Yeah, what did distract me was Belle. I think she kind of ruined it again. Sorry. But it was a Weeping Angel episode. Come on. The lack of scariness was low because of that. And I'm sorry, but it could have been better, but it wasn't. So, it was good. Like, I was not bored of that. But Belle ruined it. I'm sorry. Yeah, what was shocking is that the Doctor was turned into Weeping Angel. That was shocking. Yeah. Yeah, then Dan got sent back to the past. Yeah. And we met Jericho, which was my favourite character. Then we met, Claire again. She was alright. Yeah, that's, it was okay, but Belle ruined it. That's all I gotta say. Right, let's move on to chapter 5. Survivors of the Flux. Right, so, chapter 5. Yeah, it was shit. I actually hated that episode. I'm sorry, but it's it's one of the weakest ones. I could have gave it 0, but I didn't. I gave it a 2, I believe. I could have gone lower, but it was shit. That's all I gotta say. I've got nothing to say. I'm moving on. Episode 6. No, episode 5. Horseshit. Let's move on to episode 6. So, episode 6. The Vanquishers. I hated it. And then, I would say this is one of the worst finales I've ever seen in my entire life. I've seen a lot of finales, but there were finales that were like kind of worse. There was what was it? I don't know. I would say Series 7 Part 1 with the Weeping Angels. That was terrible because Amy Mori died. Spoiler alert. And series 9. I'm sorry, but that ending with Santa was horseshit. I'm sorry. Spoiler alert. Series 9 was good. Series 10 was horseshit as well. I'm sorry, but that's the worst. Series 11 was good. But this is one of the worst ones I've ever seen. And that includes the, Series 3. That was the worst. But that's tops the worst finales I've ever seen. Like, I'm so lost. The villain, they're weak in this episode. Like, we're supposed to be scared of them, and now we're just taking the piss out of them. Now they're just gone. They're just gone weak, and I actually hate it. Yeah, shame on that. Yeah, worst finale. I'm glad Kate was back. That's all I can say. Yeah, let's move on to Eve of the Daleks. So, Eve of the Daleks. I know everyone says this is probably the worst Dalek story of all time. But actually hear me out. I love this story because it's all in one location. That's what is really good about it, is like focus on just the storage and that's it. That was I gotta say the Daleks were cool in this episode. I love the chemistry between the Doctor and Yaz. Like Yaz was opening up to Dan. Like was like hinting to the Doctor that she actually likes her. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I gotta say. I like Ashlyn Bay, but I kind of like don't like her. Even though I love her personally, but she was a bit annoying. I loved Sarah's mom. Always love her, and Father Ted. Always will do. Nick, he's alright. Yeah. Yeah, really good episode. And now we move on to the penultimate episode, Legend of the Sea Devils. So, these are special. We all know that it was going to be good. I mean, hear me out. It looked cool. Like, everyone was like happy to see the Sea Devils back. However, I gotta say the timing itself 42 minutes or 45 minutes. That's horseshit right there. The timing with Yaz and Dan were like capturing the Sea Devil. I felt like that. I felt like it was cut, and we missed scenes on how the fact they did that, where they taught how to do that. Nobody knows. What did piss me off is the Sea Devil flying. No, that ruined it. I hated the effects of it. I gotta say, they shouldn't have bothered. Like, I hated that. I felt like that was the weakest one of the specials. I loved, Yaz and the Doctor's relationship. They opened up, kind of, but she can't because, her time is up. Overall, worst episode. Worst Easter episode. I prefer Planet of the Dead to this. I'm sorry. But let's move on. Can't believe I'm saying this. Move on to the final episode of series 13. The Power of the Doctor. So, I'm calling this a finale because it still counts. I'm counting as like an episode, so this was episode 9. This episode always hits hard for me because I was so nervous to watch this because I kept feeling that that the thing with Doctor was gonna get hurt in some way, and I feel like it's gonna be horrible, but I uh, I literally I was literally regretting to watch it, but I did, and I absolutely loved it. It got me emotional, like really emotional, because I was so attached to her. Because this channel started out with Jodie Whittaker. Well, technically Peter Capaldi, but it started out in 2017. So and kind of as like this channel is dedicated to her, which I'm gutted that we lost her because I know that she's not my favorite Doctor, but hear me out. I I do love her as an actress, but to me this felt like a channel for me. That's why I did this, because I wanted to react to this era, and seeing her go was always going to be really hurtful. And to me, they did it so brilliantly. I don't know what everyone's saying, like, okay, hear me out. In my reaction, I got upset when, the Doctor was like regenerating. I'm not gonna cry because I already cried, and then this episode is always gonna get me. It really was. I absolutely loved it. I really did. Um, when the Doctor and Yaz were like on top of the TARDIS, I literally thought that everyone thought they were gonna kiss, but they didn't. But there was that moment they could have. That's what literally pissed everyone off. Ugh, they couldn't even say to each other, I meant I love you. No, that still hurts me because both of them are really good actresses. And Yaz has been in it the longest out of anyone, apart from the classic companions. No, she's been in it since 2018, and 2018 to 2022. That's far. Was it for 4 years, 5 years as a doctor? No, as the doctor's assistant. That is huge. Yeah. Similar to Sarah Jane. Glad to see like Daleks and so on, but I hated the Master in it because he literally pissed off all the incarnations of the Doctor. He wore David Tennant's tie, wore the Fifth Doctor's jumper, not the Doctor's jumper, Seventh Doctor's jumper, the celery of the Fifth Doctor, scarf of the Fourth Doctor, the trousers from the Second or 12th Doctor. Really pissed me off. I'm like, oh god, that looks hideous. Oh, so I loved every bit of it. I really enjoyed it so much. And actually, on Sunday, I'll be doing my top. No, I'm going to be talking about the Jodie Whittaker era. So there is gonna be that's just like a review of Series 13. But I'm going to be I'm going to be doing a review of her. As like her, and then I'm gonna be doing a little announcement. So stay tuned. Plus I'll be changing my banner again. Yeah. I'll see you guys very soon. Please like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. No, please subscribe to my channel. Please follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, and TikTok. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye!